Hey everyone, it's Monica Regan here, independent epicure consultant, and this is week 2, healthy meal prep. Check out everything we're gonna do. I'm gonna talk about this with you in just a minute, but I am gonna show you first. Check it out. Look at all these yummy things. How pretty do these look? There's some overnight oats, there's some Asian lettuce wraps, pizza, healthy pizza, and all kinds of other goodies. Okay, so here we go. I am going to share all of this with you now. We're going to start with breakfast. So this week for breakfast, I have done some smoothie prep. This is going to be my smoothie a couple days of the week, and then I'm also going to do some overnight oats. And so in this one, I have some mixed berries, a whole whack of spinach because it's a good way to get some healthy stuff in you. And there's a tablespoon of nut butter in there as well. And then that is going to get mixed up in the blender with the chocolate protein powder that Epicure has. Obviously, you can use a different kind of protein powder, but I think chocolate with these flavors is going to be fantastic, especially with that little touch of peanut butter. And I'll just let you know, our protein powder is a pea-based pea protein, fava bean protein, cocoa, coconut sugar, potassium phosphate, natural flavors, xanthan, sea salt, and a whole whack of probiotics. So you cannot pre-make this and put it in the fridge. It's got to be drank right after you use it. I'm also going to add in our cocoa acai, which is full of lovely antioxidants and fiber to pump up the flavor there. And then I'm just going to use an oat milk. That's the French side. Oat milk, you can use any kind of milk you want. If you want to use regular milk, it's totally fine. So that's going to be our smoothies, and I am super excited about those because they worked super well last week. They were really nice and refreshing and tasty, and it means I'm not living on coffee until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The next thing I prepped up is some overnight oats, and I'm not, these are not ideal containers for me for this, but I totally bought mason jars that were too small. So I don't know about you guys, but mason jars seem to go for a walk. I had 12, kind of 2-cup sized, and I have 3 left. I don't know what happened to them. So I bought a bunch more, and then I got home and I put them through the dishwasher, and then I looked at them and I realized they're the tiny little ones. They're 1 cup. So not big enough for overnight oats. And so I'll have to look for bigger mason jars. But in the meantime, I have in here 2/3 of a cup of oats. I have in here 2 tablespoons of chia. I have this beautiful Tutti Frutti whole food topper, which contains carrot, apple, coconut, raspberry, psyllium husk, cranberry, strawberry, and turmeric. So this is a really, really nice add in with some more antioxidants and fiber in it, which I love. And then finally, I threw in some apple pie spice to give it a little bit of that nice, warm, spicy flavor. So to that, before I go to bed each night that I'm choosing to have one of these, I'll be adding in some Greek yogurt, which of course you can use whatever non-dairy type you wish if you're doing non-dairy. And I'm also going to use the oat milk. So those will set overnight and be ready in the morning. Next up, lunch. And actually what I've done with the rest of the meals, they can be lunch one day and then, they can be dinner one evening and lunch the next, or I can just have them as lunches. I've kind of prepped a bunch of stuff and I can kind of mix and match. But my first lunch offering this week is going to be offering. Oh my gosh, I sound like I'm in a farm table restaurant or something. This is not an offering. This is what I'm going to eat. So I'm going to be making a tuna salad with baby kale. And this is the pre-washed kind again. I mean, why, stress yourself out washing it when it comes that way. And then I've made up my tuna, and I forgot to do it this way this week. But a really great tip I got was that you can actually mix your tuna with yogurt instead of mayonnaise for a better, healthier version. So I will be trying that soon. And I've just put some turmeric pepper in, which is a blend we have, which the turmeric isn't there to offer any flavor necessarily. It's just there as an anti-inflammatory, and it works with some of the things inside pepper. So I always use our turmeric pepper instead of just plain pepper on everything. So that's in there. I've also got some garlic seasoned salt. We have a seasoned salt mix that I've put in there. And then I would normally put in either our 3 onion or our lemon dilly. But I haven't done that this time because the kids love this too, and they don't like it with the flavorings as much yet. Like their taste buds are still pretty closed, but I can add it in my own portion. So that's how we're gonna do it. And then I'm gonna have these Mary's what are they? Flax crackers, and they're gluten-free, so you can eat. I'm gonna sort of eat this with the crackers, and that is going to be our tuna salad. But I also have some chopped veggies ready to go. So this is like a pretty big container. I don't know how well it looks in the proportion here, but this is like a whole cucumber and a whole punnet of tomatoes. Punnet? Is it a punnet? You know, the little thing of tomatoes. I would have probably done peppers, but we have a pepper issue with somebody in our house reacting to them. So we don't have bell peppers, but that would be a good addition if you don't have an issue with it. I also did, this is a 4-cup prep bowl, and I did 4 cups worth of carrots. So I used a peeler. I peeled the carrots, and then I simply like shredded them into these little thin peels because I thought they'd be sort of a fun, different way to eat them. And they can go in a lot of the other things I'm going to be making this week too. So that will be all stored in the fridge, along with some radishes. I've chopped up some green onion. I've chopped up some cilantro. And I still have from last week, I didn't use very much, and I didn't feel I was depriving myself, so I guess I made a bigger jar than I needed to, a bigger cruet than I needed to. But this is the balsamic, so I'm just going to keep using that for this week. And then that's going to be one of my meals. And then the next up is pizza. So I was going to make a homemade crust, and I didn't, but I got this one instead. So this is a cauliflower crust. I know you can get these frozen, and I just picked up a frozen one. There's 2 in a pack here. So it was like $12, but I don't know. We'll try it. Maybe I'll make my own next time. And then I made up some marinara, and that was really easy. I just took canned tomatoes, threw them in the blender, and then threw in the seasoning. I didn't know I liked marinara sauce until I tried this. I don't know. It just wasn't something that appealed to me, and I absolutely love this one. So I totally recommend it. And then, of course, we got to put a little cheese on there. But before I do that, I'm going to cut up a few tomatoes and put them on there. And then I'm going to sprinkle some cheese on. I'm going to try to keep that pretty minimal because I really am working on health here, and I know dairy is not the best. And then I'm going to top it with a whole bunch of arugula. And what I like about doing this after the pizza's cooked is I can put some on mine, but if the kids don't want it, which they probably won't because apparently anything green will kill them, I can put it on mine and they don't have to have it on theirs. So that's going to be one of our meals, pizza. And then next up is spaghetti. So I have done 4 cups of spaghetti, and I use this go-go quinoa. It's like a quinoa mix of gluten-free pasta. And I boiled it up, and then I ran it under cold water, and I just put a little bit of olive oil in there so it doesn't all stick together. And then it's going in the prep bowl to sit in the fridge. And this apparently can keep in the fridge for a week, but there's no way it'll take us a week to eat it. And what I did for the pasta is I'm going to make it into a seafood pasta. So I sauteed up some onions and some garlic, and I threw in our lemon dilly, and obviously it's in olive oil. And so I've pre-made that. I have frozen prawns in the freezer, and I'm going to get my wok out. I'm going to throw this with a bit more olive oil into the wok. When I'm ready to cook this, I'm going to put the prawns in there, and I've got a little bit of the imitation crab. That's the pollock. You could use real crab if you wanted. And so I'm going to just saute those all together with the noodles. So that'll be quick and easy and ready to go. And so that's pasta. We've got our pizza. We've got our tuna salad. And last but not least, one of my ultimate favorite things to make is, what is this? Asian lettuce wraps. Gosh, my brain. So what I did here is I used turkey. You could use any ground meat you wanted to. You could use pork, you could use beef, you could use the Beyond Meat one, which is what we actually usually use. I decided to try it with turkey this time. And then I've got these living lettuce, so that's like still on the root at the bottom there. And I find these last really well. So, if you want to buy something that you know is going to keep well, that's a great one. So the leaves, the butter lettuce leaves are nice and big. You could use romaine as well. And then you just put the ground meat onto the leaf and then top it with this beautiful chipotle sauce. So our chipotle is like, we just cannot, like, I get panicky when I get low on this if I don't have a second jar in the house. I love it so much. So this is a cup of mayo, splash of lemon, and a tablespoon of our chipotle. And it makes a beautiful sauce that you can put on Asian food. It's so good on these lettuce wraps. You can put it on tacos, any kind of Mexican. It's fantastic on. So I recommend, this is one of my all-time favorite Epicure products. And the last thing I forgot to mention is how I season that ground beef. So that is also with one of my favorite Epicure products, which is our Asian stir fry. And this went right onto the meat in the wok along with some soy sauce, and I just ground it up and added a little bit of salt in there until it was kind of seasoned to taste. And this is fantastic on all kinds of different things. So the recipe suggestion on the side is to do it on thinly sliced meat, tofu, or even veggies, and then with just a bit of soy sauce, and it just gives everything a beautiful flavor. So that is what is for breakfast, what is for lunch, and what is for dinner this week. And I am pretty proud of myself because it is still light out. I got this thing up earlier than last week, and it's only week 2, so I'm making progress. So thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want all of the recipes, check out below my link to my Facebook VIP group. You can find all the recipes written out there in full, so you can follow along with a grocery list. So here's to your health, everybody. Have an amazing week. Mwah.